So today I was going to do a video on April's budget and how we did, but last night I got home, come to find out the engine was shaking a little bit on my Kia, and so I ran the code reader, found out I was having misfires on one of my cylinders, and narrowed it down to the spark plugs. And so not making a video on that this week, but decided to go ahead while I'm doing this, changing out these spark plugs on the Kia. That's a coil pack. We talk about how living on one income, we really don't rely on people to do services for us. We do the services ourselves, and a lot of times that means me learning something new, or just doing regular service. This is a perfect example. I'm not paying somebody to do this job, which you could have a mechanic do and take your car to the mechanic, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing it myself because I've done it before. I've had similar issues before, and I've learned, and now it's just really a part of the process. I don't really have I'm spending less time on YouTube trying to figure out how stuff is done, and I'm figuring out ways to do it faster. You can see here I've got just a cheap, whatever was cheapest. This Kia's got a lot of miles on it, and I'm not really too worried about getting the best stuff. And so I'm going to swap these spark plugs out. But yeah, there's other things, that we do to not spend money or rely on other people to do it for us. And one of that is mowing the yard. I've never paid somebody to mow my yard. I've always done that myself, and we save money that way. Anything car related, I do myself. I've done the same job on my Honda Odyssey, and you just get to a point where you're able to do it yourself, and you're not having to pay somebody else to do it. Changing your oil in the car, you don't have to pay somebody. Now we did, with our Honda Odyssey, we did have to do that just because it was under warranty, and I decided to go ahead and pay the money to have somebody change the oil. But the warranty's expired now, and I get to change the oil on that, so that's going to save us a pretty good amount of money too, not having to do that. I've got other things that I do too, that I am not paying somebody. Sometimes you have to pay somebody. You don't have a choice, but maybe you can put off having to pay somebody. For example, I'll show you my gutter, and this ain't anything. This is nothing fancy. But my gutters, the water goes the wrong way because the gutters aren't lined up properly anymore, and you pretty much have to remove the gutter to be able to fix it. I've added this downspout to the side of the house, which really I think it should be there anyways, and it's not a perfect job, but it directs the water away from the house, and so that's something I've been able to do where I don't have to pay somebody, or at least I can put off paying somebody, because ultimately those gutters have to be changed out. So I'm able to put off that job. So that makes it easier. So what are things that you do to save money? You want to put a comment down below. I'm curious what you all do out there to save some money. And maybe you're working with two incomes and you do this sort of stuff yourself instead of paying somebody to. I rotated my tires last week on the Kia. They need to be balanced, but that's like $15, so I'm not having to pay $100 to get my tires balanced, or to get my tires rotated. Yeah, you can see right there. I don't know if I can show you well enough or not, but it's pretty worn. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing before I go to work. Get these things swapped out. And this little Kia will be good to go. If you like my content, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, tell me what you do to save money on different things like that instead of paying somebody. And if you are paying somebody, consider learning how to do stuff on your own. It'll really help you and go a long way. We'll see you on the next one. Hey, all right. No more misfires.